Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today's exciting new bat to review. This is the Gray-Nicolls Black Edition. They're exclusive to Meulemans in WA, and they're limited to 10 bats this season. Retail price was $995 retail. This one's been sent to me by the owner. It's not for sale. And if you've reached the page through a search because you're looking up this bat, I hope you enjoy the review and subscribe to the channel if you want to see other bats that I've reviewed. As far as this bat is concerned, these are made from XL clefts. You can see here handcrafted from the finest XL English willow. Comes in a nice full-size bag, which is something new I haven't seen from Gray-Nicolls till this season. I've actually been saying over a few reviews of Gray-Nicolls that it's time for them to try and catch up with what other bat makers are doing and offer better quality bags to put these nice bats in, and I think they've done that. Nice looking bat, really full and distinctive. Why is it called the Black Edition? Well, it's called the Black Edition because of this stain you can see going on here. I'll bring that into shot. So right here there's a bit of a stain going on, and what that is, it's some sort of minerals in the ground that is leached up into the bat. I think it's the opposite of kryptonite because these bats are supposed to really be superb as far as their playability. So what do we got here as far as the stickers? So a black on grey accent going on to emphasise that you've got the Black Edition. White and silver mirrored finish you can see there, a more recent Gray-Nicolls. Love to hear from any people who have actually owned a Black Edition the last season. Comment on the video, say how it's gone. If you're somebody who uses a lot of Gray-Nicolls, comment as to how you found the playability. I think the people watching the video would love to read that. Obviously we've got the laser etching, which has been the same ever since the Ultimate that I've got, that I tap up. On the shoulder here, W stamped into the shoulder. Nice straight grains running through the shoulders. Bit of an end of a pin knot just sort of heading through here. Those type of blemishes normally okay. They're not what you'd call the hard bars. Nice, fairly straight grains underneath that toe there. I'll put that onto the other one. Now I did try to get this through the gauge and it doesn't fit. So we're definitely looking at an edge size that's over 41mm there. As far as the face camber goes, if I press that down, that's 5mm. There's minimal daylight there, so I would say they've switched to about a 5mm camber. And on the back of the bat, to try and show you just how full these bats are, remember it doesn't actually help them to go full convex. They're probably penalised with the gauge. It would mean that the spine would actually sink in a bit further if they went that full rounded finish. So you can see there that that's nice and full all the way. Definitely we've got a spine that's probably over that 67 mark. And so let's look at the particular specifications of this bat. I imagine each particular bat in the series will be slightly different depending on the individual cleft's characteristics when it was made. So I'm measuring this edge out, and now I can see there I'm looking at a 45mm edge. You can see that there. Down at the toe, normally Gray-Nicolls are fairly reduced down at the toe, so I'm not expecting to see much more than 20. Yep, and it will peak a bit more because you've got the spines sort of running into the toe. Should be around 27, it's 28, okay. And up here at the shoulders, it's fairly reduced, 13.7. Let's see how much depth we got on that handle there. That adds to a bit of durability when we're looking over 40, and that's 41, so that's pretty good. Nice and thick through the shoulders here, which I like. Generally with flatter face bats, this one's not a flatter face bat. The flatter it is, the more you hit towards the edge of the bat, the more twist you get into the bat. And that twist transfers up through the shoulders and you get breakages up around the shoulders. Yeah, fairly big bat as far as dimensions go. Grain structure, get some stunning looking bats through obviously, but I think these bats are more a combination of density, performance and the look of the willow. Fairly high as far as those gradings are concerned at Gray-Nicolls. So I've counted 10 grains across the front there. Slightly skewed. But yeah, obviously a slightly bigger cleft because they're calling it an XL. At this point, what I'll do is measure the spine. So I use a little pair of calipers. So we got 68.6. You don't have to buy all this sort of stuff just for your own bats. I sort of started doing this stuff as the channel's grown, and I used to do photos and tried to economize things for my own time and prioritize the videos. So that sort of stuff is more for the people who've been watching the videos and subscribed to the channel, just to see comparisons. It also probably is helpful to people maybe designing their own bats or thinking of getting a copy made, or even bat makers, to see what's actually going on with different bat styles. So definitely an XL bat. It's above the gauge, the legal requirements, which they allow 40 plus 1 mil for extra tack, and 108 mil or 4¼ inches plus 1 mil each size for that extra tack to wrap around. So that's just to allow for a bat to be repaired during its life and still fit through the gauge. When you go right up to that limit, then when you've got repairs, then it will sort of cause issues. But I imagine people playing at that top flight will just replace the bat. So at this point, we're going to bring in the sample bat, which is my own bat, to compare ping. Those familiar with the last few videos would have seen this bat many times now. I'll just put this stuff to the side. Just let me set up. So that's my own Gray-Nicolls Ultimate. It's in its 2nd season, but it doesn't really get a lot of use because I tend to swap bats around as review bats come in to test them and report on their performance. So, but this bat is definitely played in. So it's not a fair comparison to have a bat that's not knocked or played in with a bat that's played in. But I'm going to give you a comparison because the really good bats will have really good ping from the beginning. So we start at the toe. So this particular one's got a blemish right here, and that type of blemish really pings. You can see that that mallet pinging off. This mallet weighs 900 grams and it's a lignum vitae head, which is a very hard wood, hard and dense. So there's your performance. So I want you to think about just how much rebound that mallet was getting just from a bit of tapping up. Now we'll swap over. Incidentally, that bat weighs about 2.85 with the tapes and stuff on it. So a heavier bat will ping better. So now we'll start with this one down the toe. Well, that pretty much answers all of it, doesn't it? I mean, just have a look how amazing that ping is. Off center, not as much. When you've got a rounded face, it tends to deflect a lot of that power. But yeah, I could sit there tapping that up all day, and that is sensational. That is really, really nice. So you can see just how good a top quality bat that's actually been graded by a bat maker on performance, not on looks, actually performs. So these are the type of bats that would be comparable to the bats that the top line, top flight marquee players for those brands are getting in their hands to use in the test matches and one days and internationals. I have no doubt about that. And this bat will actually get better, and because we've only got 10 grains there, it's no sort of durability issues to really worry about. So if you look through my other videos, you'll get a lot of hints on knocking in, and I do have some knocking in videos that you can have a look at if you scroll through the channel. I also have a Facebook page you can check out. At this point, if you're liking what you're seeing with how I'm doing this, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel and click that notification button, because YouTube tends to be nasty and not tell you that a video has come through. So we'll clear this one out and we'll keep talking about aspects of the bat. The first thing I want to go through is the weight. So we've seen very much that this is a pingy bat. We've compared it with a played in 2.8 from the same stables, and I think that it's a much better bat as far as performance than my own Ultimate, which is pretty incredible really, because I'll get a lot of comments on the channel about how people think that it goes off that blemish. So we'll weigh this one up now. First time I'm seeing that. It is 211.5, so it is 3 ounces heavier. So that accounts for a lot of that punch that's there in comparison, and that's only going to get better. What does it feel like? So even with this very light grip that they use, it's got an incredibly light feel. I've actually got to just check whether or not this is a full length blade, just against my own bat. And it's definitely a full length. So what I'm feeling is just exceptional balance, and the pickup is incredibly light on it. It feels nothing like a 211 bat. And me, who likes 2.8, I could easily wield something like that. So that's just incredible. It's, you know, for $995, you're getting something that a lot of craftsmanship has gone into to create something that's both balanced, powerful, and picks up lovely in the hands, even though it's got a really light grip. Now, I do want to show you what's under the handle. So if it's an oval bottom hand, fairly thick, and I've got nice control there. I can get a full grip on the bottom hand, as you can see there. So really nice shape. Now, 211.5. Now, the thing about these bats, firstly, let's look at the construction. I'm going to take this grip off, and we'll talk about the construction of the Australian Gray-Nicolls handles. So they use a really good quality handle. It's always been, well, most recently, this really fine black rubber, good quality cane. And instead of using binding as their finishing material, they use medical tape or zinc oxide tape that appears to come down from the top, finishing at the bottom, and then they bind the bottom 2 inches over the shoulder tabs to give it strength there. The joint itself, when it's glued and fitted properly, should actually stay in. This is just to stop that sort of vibrational type thing that goes on with a handle. Now, we weighed 211.5 with the grip, and without the grip it's 210.5. These new grips that they use are latex grips, and they're incredibly light. So if I compare that to a standard Gray-Nicolls grip, so there's your standard Matrix Plus grip, 11.5. If I was to put a standard grip on, it'd be 211.8, 212. So you're saving a tiny little bit of weight, but you're also getting a slightly thicker feeling grip. I actually have used this grip. It's not on my bat anymore, but it's okay. They get dirty really quickly. You can even see that it's starting to get dirty. That's the only thing. I wish they came out in something other than white latex. Maybe darker colours, dark greens and dark blues would be a better fit, even your blacks, than the white. So hopefully they'll listen to that and put some colours in, and then we'll all be buying them. So yeah, that can be steamed out. That's nothing special. So yeah, what an incredible bat. Really stoked to review that. There you have it. That is the Meulemans Black Edition, number 2 of 10 for 2019. $995 retail in the special Black Willow, and it pings incredibly. Contact Meulemans. I'll put a link in the description where you can find that particular bat on their website if it hasn't already sold out. Black Edition.